In this film, we hear from three families who specifically speak about what has been supportive for them in their grief, in the case of friends, family, school and the wider community.
I always end up with a hug and cuddle and I love you, good night.
And then in school, if I'm like annoyed or upset, I would either go to say something to Owen or like say something to the teacher, and then they let me go down to sit in a room and I just sit down. A couple of my friends came to his funeral because they knew him too, and then my teacher came to his funeral too. So did my teacher.
Was that good to see them there, or how would?
Yeah, just shows that they actually care.
All my friends came up to my room with me because I didn't want to go downstairs where there's like 50 people I've never seen before in my life.
What sort of remarks are helpful?
Just when my mates text me.
Because if you're ever like feeling really sad and you don't want to tell anybody, don't be doing that.
It's the understanding, the fact that they understood how you felt and you could talk better to them, and you know, and we had a laugh and we had fun, and it was the first time I'd seen the kids laugh in such a long time.
Well, at the start I didn't really talk to anybody or say much. I just like to keep to myself, and it was like that until the weekend, and then after the weekend I started talking about things more, and that's pretty much it.
The residential.
Mm-hmm.
What changed on that weekend then for you?
I don't really know.
I think we got a lot. I think it was the time together we got too, and I don't know, it just fit, something just clicked over that weekend, you know, where I think because we were talking about Graham and we weren't afraid to talk about him, and I think we felt safe and comfortable, and because everybody else was in the same position as us, and it didn't feel like we were the only people in the world that this had happened to, and you know, you didn't feel just as alone.
After the weekend, I kind of felt a bit better about myself because I realised that we're not the only people going through this, and then seeing how many people there were, you didn't think that there was that many other people in this country that were going through the exact same thing.
Yeah. You smile at the dog, right?
Yeah. Choking.
That's so true. Like, you don't get a chance to meet or...
It's very rarely that you find someone else.
And it was a great comfort just knowing, sounds really stupid, it was a comfort knowing that somebody else was in the same boat. It's just such a horrible position to be in, but it's the understanding, the fact that they understood how you felt, and you could talk better to them, and you know, and we had a laugh and we had fun, and it was the first time I'd seen the kids laugh in such a long time. Like, we were there, it was about 6 months or so, 6-7 months after. And seeing them laugh, properly, belly laugh, just I thought, no, this is what we need to be doing. And
I found talking to people who were in a similar position easier, because you didn't feel you were explaining a lot of stuff, because you sort of had that common ground. So even you started most conversations, you know, without having to lay out the groundwork of explaining what had happened, because you knew that people you were talking to had lost somebody and you had lost someone, so you knew you had something common there, and you knew exactly the emotions that each other was going through, so you can even start comparing and realising that some of the things that you're feeling or experiencing or having to cope with or struggle with are normal, and somebody else is coping with it in a different way. But it's just even that I thought was great, and I got that from the get-together weekends. These boys, both of them went through the cruise counselling for the kids, and I remember when Leon came out at the last session, one thing you said is, I can now talk about mummy without getting upset all the time, and that was a big thing, because quite before then I think you avoided talking about it, and in school you'd have a few upsetting times, didn't you? A few we just struggling, I think, with your emotions.
I was very young and it's harder to keep things like in and keep it to yourself. Because whenever I felt really bad, loads of people just said to me, let it out. Don't be holding it. Don't be holding the crying in. If you're feeling sad, talk to someone. Don't just... Because if you're ever like feeling really sad and you don't want to tell anybody, don't be doing that. That's not the right thing to do because you're just going to feel miserable. Then it's better if you talk to someone about it.
Did you have experience of doing both, Kyle? Of keeping it in?
Well,
and
at the very start, yes, because I didn't know what I was meant to do if I was feeling sad. Now I kind of... Well, not that I'm feeling sad that much now, but like...
We talk about it now.
Yeah.
What do you do? What do you tend to do?
Probably I'd cry in my room, like, but I wouldn't tell no one about it.
I'll be on Facebook a minute later, so we'll just know if there's something wrong.
Tell me about that. What do you mean?
He doesn't really like to tell us, but he would sort of express how he's feeling on his Facebook, you know.
What sort of stuff would you put up on Facebook?
So just, I don't know, not feeling myself a day and all.
What's the reaction that you get from that?
It's okay, but they don't know that it's okay because they haven't went through it.
Keep the head up or something.
What sort of remarks are helpful?
Just when my mates text me. I don't know.
Because they always like check and make sure you're okay. And
Well, normally it's okay, but then there's sometimes like people in school are talking about their dads and then like what they're working as or whatever, because we're all still learning more about each other because we've only been with my class for 2 years. And then everyone's like, Sophie, what's your dad work as?
What's that like? How does that make you? What goes through your head?
Well, it's like you don't know whether to tell them or not, because some people are like, oh, I'm so sorry, and then they kind of think differently about you because they're worried more about what they're saying in case they upset you or whatever. And then there's other people who just, they say, I'm sorry, and then they treat you the same and act like you're the same person.
It's really hard to explain things to people and they would never really know what you mean.
You said some of your friends wouldn't even know in school.
Yeah.
You've never mentioned it to them.
Most of them do, but some don't. I don't really bring it up because I just don't really want it to be awkward and to be weird and things. But all my friends, most of my friends know, and friends know, whenever it happened at the time, they all supported me and helped me. Or when there was a bench outside, as me Jordan, like to go up together, and if there's a bench outside, them both will just go out and sit on it and talk to each other about it.
As soon as we heard, remember I told you that we all sat here, he ran straight over to Jordan.
So did I went over to Jordan's.
We all went over to Jordan.
He must be a good friend.
He really
Is he?
was.
I went
It was
back,
really
me and all went
nice
back into
to
school. I think, wasn't it the next day or the week after?
It was 2 days after.
2 days after, me and all went back into school and just walked about it for a while and went
I
back
stayed up
into
for
some
about
classes.
a week, but then my class and our headmaster that left us a couple of weeks ago, he came and brought mummy chocolates, and in my class made me a card and they put all their names on it.
Sometimes in school when you're doing topics and stuff about
because-
families and
Yeah, we did AR and we had to draw a picture of our family. And I said to the teacher that took it, can I draw a star for that was my dad? I'm looking down at us and she said, yeah, you can do what you want.
Whenever everyone was coming round to the house and you couldn't see the floor in the hall for people, all my friends came up to my room with me because I didn't want to go downstairs where there's like 50 people I've never seen before in my life, and
Because it was usually, there was like Wasn't it loads of Dad's friends came round to the house?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't really want to go down the stairs, so it was better having them up there, so I wasn't upstairs on my own.
Yeah.
I think it was important just, Kai just wanted to go out and play, or Sophie wanted to be by herself, and then her friends asked to see her and she was happy for them to go up, but she just didn't want to be around people in general, and I think it was just, I suppose, until she learned what to do with herself, it was hard for her to take it on, and Kai just didn't really know what to do, so it was just, I think we were just better, everybody just did what made them feel, not that you're happy, not that you're, you just have to go with the flow.
A couple of my friends came to his funeral because they knew him too. And then my teacher came to his funeral too.
So did my teacher.
Was that good to see them there, or how?
Yeah, just shows that they actually care.
Yeah.
It's because he was such a big character.
Like, there was a good 100 people, more than 100 people at his
We
funeral.
got 188 cards.
Wow.
We did.
And I suppose the good thing is we all would do, at night time, spend time together in each of the rooms, so chatting. Well, I'm talking more bedtime, go in and we'd chat. And that's when you can sort of go over what's happened through the day and sort of
I always get
say you're sorry for things, and I always end up with a hug and cuddle and, alright, love you, good night.
Whenever I'm in the house, Kyle's away football or whatever, and you're still at work, and I'm up in my room doing my homework, Ted would lie in the bed beside me, so it doesn't feel like I'm in the house on my own, because I've got someone right on my bed beside me.
It's company, I think that's the big thing. He was a good comfort and company.